Okay, I'll just start with the injuries real quick. Doyle had the ankle, Fisher had the knee, so we'll check on those guys and hopefully not too bad. First of all, just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone, right? Especially to Colts Nation, right? I mean, this was a great win for the Colts Nation, right? Especially on Christmas Day, everybody's at home celebrating with their families, having a great day, and it kind of makes us happy in here to be able to deliver Colts Nation a win and kind of top off a great Christmas Day, which I hope everybody had. Speaking of Christmas, I can just tell you this: it's a gift to be able to coach this team. It's a gift for us as coaches to be able to coach this team. We got great players. Obviously, faced a lot of adversity this week, but stepped up and stepped up in a big way. A lot of guys had to step up and take care of business, and they did. And that's a real credit to our players. The roster, the depth of the roster that we have. Players in all three phases were just dialed in. No one flinched. This morning when we got more bad news about the COVID stuff, there was no panic. It was like, okay, next man up. So we were ready to go. And players, I can't emphasize enough the quality players that we have. Coaches did a great job. I mean, coaches scrambling at the last minute, as far as on offense, making personnel adjustments as far as the way we call plays and stuff like that. Defense did a good job of making sure. Bubba did a great job. His whole depth chart that he handed me before the game was like a complete turnaround, so coaches really did a good job. And then, obviously a special shout out to Chris Ballard. We gave him a game ball in there because, when you get in a day like this and you need everybody on the roster, you thank the man who put it together. And so game ball to Chris Ballard. Okay, I'll open it up from there.
Frank, can you just, on that note, kind of expand on what the last 24, 36 hours have been like? Because, I'm sure you do all this game planning all week long. You basically have to throw a lot of it out, I assume.
It was pretty crazy, but, as far as getting the news, we woke up this morning, got some good news. The first news I got was the text was it looked like we were good, and then all of a sudden we weren't good. So that was interesting. But we adapt and adjust. And when I tell you that there was not a whole lot of, there was no flinching. It was adjusting and adapting, as you're saying, to personnel groups and things like that. But coaches handled that very well.
You guys were obviously down 4 offensive linemen starters for most of that second half, for all of it. So obviously you were able to cobble together some pretty good drives. How did that kind of come together?
Yeah, we're down to 3 starting offensive linemen to start, and then we had 2 more guys go down in the game, right? So, and Jonathan still ran for 100 yards. So that's just a credit to those guys who stepped up there. And it hurt getting Jack hurt early. Getting Jack hurt early in that game is like losing one of your best offensive linemen. That probably dramatically changed the way we called some things more than anything at that point, because the offensive line, we had confidence in all those guys. But tight end, Jack's just such a good blocker. But Colin stepped in and did a good job. Of course, Mo played great. So good job by the offense as a whole.
Frank, it was an up and down night for Carson. Missed some throws. He took some hits, made some throws late. What did you tell him on the sideline at certain moments, and what did you see from him?
Yeah, no, it was great. I loved it. So we started off, had a couple good things happen in that first drive. He hits a couple good things and kind of cooled off there. In the middle there, had a bad series or two where we missed a couple throws that uncharacteristic. But, we just said, we're good. We're good. We're just kind of try to find some completion. We try to move him in the pocket a little bit, stuff like that, just kind of get a rhythm. But he's our guy. He's already proven time and time again. I've seen it before. We talked about it as an offensive staff. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, I said to the offensive staff, Carson will make plays to win this game in the fourth quarter. I said that I said, Carson will make plays to win this game in the fourth quarter. And he makes the big play to T.Y. and the big one to Dez.
Did he say anything to you at any point in the game?
No, he just said, at one point he just said, hey, I'm good. That's on me. He said, that's on me. I'm good. Let's go get it.
And then what was your view of the touchdown to Patman that won it, to give you a 2-score lead?
Yeah, it was great. It was a great play by him, great play by Dez. It was an adjustment that we made on that play. We actually, on that play, it was a suggestion by Carson. I believe it was by Carson to put Dez on the route that he was on, because we originally all week long practiced it with him doing something else. And at the last minute, Carson said, hey, how about if we do this with him? And
the last minute, like earlier today or during the game or during practice?
I think it was earlier today or yesterday or today. I can't remember when it was. But it was a last-second suggestion by him that we all, Marcus and I liked, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. And obviously come up with a big play.
Frank, when Carson has those kind of ruts that you saw today, as a head coach and knowing your relationship with him, how much do you talk to him? Do you say much to him on the sideline? Do you kind of just give a little distance? How does that work with you two?
I don't say too much, you know. I don't say too much. I just say, there's sometimes I'll just say, hey, we good? You know, or I'll talk to Marcus and I'll talk to Scott because they're back there on the bench with him. I'm out there listening to the defense, watching the defense. So I'm talking to Marcus. Hey, what is Carson like? What's the look in, you say, how's he feeling? You know, that kind of deal. They said he was doing well the whole game. So you don't want to go through a rut. You know, no player wants to go through a rut, but it happens all the time. I mean, just watch the games. Just watch the games tomorrow. You know, quarterbacks getting ruts for a couple throws. So I don't want to overplay that because it's a 60-minute game, and what counts is do you make the plays necessary to win, and he did. So really happy with how he played.
Frank, you said that the team didn't flinch, over what's happened in the last 24 hours. Why? Why does this team have that quality? You say it all the time.
Yeah, just character, belief, trust in each other and in the process. You know, we talked about, hey, we're prepared for this. We've practiced this. Everyone going out there today has practiced every one of these plays a million times. There's no excuses. There's no explanations. We're prepared for this. We've practiced these reps over and over. And let's just go perform. Let's go perform. And that's what they did.
Frank, in totality, do you feel like this is the most complete football team you've had in your time?
Yes, and I think this is one of the best team wins I've ever been a part of, considering all the circumstances. I mean, I'm sure there's some good ones in there, but this is up there. I mean, this is up there. It really took all three phases. The defense played so good. The defense played so good against a dynamic quarterback and a dynamic offense. Special teams made the plays that they needed to make, and then offensively, it wasn't always pretty, but we moved the ball enough, to score the points we needed.
Frank, with the COVID numbers jumping, and you guys have had a bunch of guys go out, and a couple of those guys flew on the team playing with you guys out here. What's your concern? I mean, Carson, unvaccinated, that could be any minute, right? What's your sense on that?
Yeah, I mean, it can be any minute for anybody. I mean, it's a virus, so it is what it is at this point in the season. So, we'll be ready for whatever we have to do, and we'll hope for the best. We'll hope for the best, but every team's going through it. Every team has the same thing. I mean, that's why nobody was that concerned. I mean, not making a big deal about it. Just look around the league. It's going all over the place. So we're just going to have to deal whatever hand we're dealt and still find ways to win games.